Hello, everybody. This is a Solado match and a video analysis post match. My name is Sean Lewis. I'm playing against James Fox. Current Fargo 483, my Fargo 667. We're playing this match at the penalty box, which is in Lakewood, Washington. Shout out to Shane running the show down there during the day. So this is bar table, 9-ball. James is preparing for a tournament in Las Vegas. So we're putting some repetitions in and we're just going to analyze what's going on. So play it safe. That's a good safe. I think you just got to be a little bit more aggressive with one or the other ball playing safe there. I think maybe just getting your cue ball a little bit closer to 3 would have been it, because then the one ball would have went down table. So it was just a little bit soft, really. I was trying to play below the 5 there, but I saw that might be a thing, so I'm hooked. So we're doing alternate break, race to 9. I think 2 on the back. Pretty standard rule set. So here I'm looking to kick 2 rails. And then if I made it, I thought that cue ball would just travel up table towards the 3. I just hit a little bit wide or overspun it. So here I put the cue ball on the end rail. Maybe that's a little bit closer than where it is now. And then play a punch shot to the second diamond. And then shoot the second from the second diamond to get over there. Then if I was to hit a little bit too far, not far enough, because I think ideally, instead of going forward here, I'd like to be able to punch this over. But if you're trying to get straight in on the 4, so you can go down and shoot the 5 in the left corner, and you shoot the 4 in the right corner and go towards that way, then it's a little bit different. So I was trying to get a little bit straighter on this so that I could draw to the side. So I like to try to draw and go back to the other side. A little bit more pace. And just barely hit it. If I would have hit it a little bit fuller, it would have been fine, or not at all, it would have been fine. So that was unfortunate. Standard safe. like the one rail shot there. If you could kick and stick, if that's what you were trying to do, that's a good shot. So I'm using bottom and a touch of left to get the extra turning. I was like stun and right, a little bit of draw. This is just going to be follow, rolling ball. Alright, so one of the things that I advise people to do when they're in these Solano matches is to kind of pay attention to the individual repetitions of the things that only happen once a game. Like if you're breaking, study how your like setup is, and your choices about what you're doing are for when you're watching yourself. Then you can decide, was I breaking consistently? What am I trying to do with my break? Is it accomplishing what I want? Is the other guy's break doing better? So when you're watching these, you can just realize that it's all like a repeating thing. It's just not like every shot happens so much more, but break shots and all that happen quite often. Alright, I wanted to be a little bit short of that spot so I could float over. So I'm just going to draw back just a little bit to make it a little bit of a shallower angle. And I was trying to come back way further than that and shoot the 8 in the side. Knowing that I can just go to the end rail and back up if I came up short, but this is a little bit more short than I wanted to. And that was just low English, no left or right, kind of like a stun shot, really. I wanted to keep the 8 going on the bright, or the cue ball going on the line down the back up table. I didn't want it to stop. Alright, so I had a break and run. Kind of got a little squirrely, but it happens. We just battle through. We try to see, okay, I got away with that one, but what do I need to do to lock it in better for next time? Because we don't necessarily want to go through that same pain. Trying to I think on that break and the last one, I'm not sure about the last one. I wasn't paying quite much attention, but that break kind of lacked that pop that you need. So I'm banking the 1. I'm basically going all out for it. Banking the 1 and trying to play shape for the 2. By going underneath the 9. Knowing that there's a likelihood of a safety. just because of all the moving pieces. It did definitely worked out better than it could have here. But it's kind of my style to take the bigger risks earlier on and try to like break it open, make the game easy for the rest of the way. Not good or bad, it's just more my style. I don't like to leave the hard shot for the last. I'd rather shoot that first. Maybe that's not the way. I don't know. Pretty good attack there with the jump. No reward. I think this is enough angled, or I can just come out for the 2. And then basically where all the balls are at, I'm just going to try to play the cue ball back to in between the balls, like to the middle of the table for every shot. And really the only trick here is going to be to go from the 8 to the 9. You just need to maintain the proper side of the shot line. I just kept a little angle here so I can just punch over for the 5. And I wanted to shoot the 7 in the corner, so I want to get pretty straight in on it. So I'm going to have to play the speed really nice for the 5 to the 7. So I'm really trying to be pinpoint on the 4 to the 5 to make this shot as easy as possible, because this is a lower percentage pattern play where I'm trying to roll onto the line but going across the line. So I like to shoot it and come up a little bit higher just to create a little distance, and I came up a little bit short. I wanted to ideally be almost straight in. So I just hit that as soft as I could, and now pretty good angle here. Low and bright. Just a little bit of right English, it's more just low. Get maximum grab if you use less spin. So my breaks have not been super consistent. Trying to figure it out here. You know, you just keep breaking and then seeing what you can do differently, or if you even need to. Because it's after a certain amount of time, you'll start to figure out what's working. If you're, if you have time to do that. If the other person is doing something that's obviously working, and you can like simulate that and change what your break is, and that just makes sense to do that. I was playing the cue ball under the 8 there and just hit it, and it just came out too far. That whole sequence seems like when you get up off the shot and you get back down, I think it's wise to just kind of reset fully and start over. Because you kind of have to detach yourself from the prior shot, whatever you thought you were going to do before you decided it was a bad idea. And then simulate, the new shot. So I was going for the one on the side there and hit the point and then went into the other side. So that was cool. Now I'm trying to play left English here. And then come in and bump this 9. Might be a lot to ask for, but only if you don't get there. But it's kind of a good two-way. Not sure. Let's see from where you're at. See what is this? Between the 5 and 6 diamonds up. It looks like maybe the 6 is in the way from the kick that you'd be kicking between the 7 and the 6. You might have to use like spin to get to that window. That was another option. That shot, I think maybe you needed to use right English to shorten it up. It's hard to see on the on here. So I'm planning to just bump this 9 out of the way. Play a lot of these Salado matches on the aggressive side. I think it's a good benefit to play like tough. But, excuse me. I'm trying to evolve my game too, so if I play really well, then it can be its own thing to deal with. And if I play too many safeties, then it kind of gets into the moving of it, and playing the moving game can be a little bit more of like an emotional war. And came up short there. Like an emotional war, and I don't always want to play that game when we're doing this training. Because really, like playing safeties and stuff, part of the being able to do it under pressure is just practicing it under pressure. A lot of these safeties you play in more of a practice scenario, you might not do for big money or in the end of a set of a finals match or something. So I was trying to bank that ball and then play for the 7. That was definitely aggressive, but I did not think that it was going to be that far off. I haven't played on this table before, I don't think. Maybe once or twice. And still kind of getting a feel for it. This is like the first shot that maybe I should have played safe there. But like I said, I'm trying to be aggressive and get a feel for it. And that shot wasn't so tough to miss. I just played the cue ball too much, I think. So that's a good shot. little weak stroke on that. It looked fine on the camera. There wasn't. Four zero. I made a couple balls. I don't have a very good shot here. Not sure what I can do here, what I did. It's hard to see how thin you can hit it. Yeah, I was just playing to use the 6, or not the 6, but the 7 and the 9 as cover. If I'd hit it a little bit more thinly, then the cue ball would have gone up table a little bit more. So, but this leaves a pretty obvious one rail kick below. And if you're good at this shot, then this is pretty high percentage reversal. You can eventually like use inside, like left or right English basically, to control the angle the cue ball comes off the rail to give yourself a better percentage. I think here I'm supposed to play safe, but I end up going for it. The balls are so wide open that if I make it, then I feel really good about it, because I'm going to just go back and forth with the 2 and the 3 balls up there. So anything that I end up with and I can make it, the 4s just leads right to the spot. So everything tells me that I want to go for it. But it is a difficult cut. So made a good shot, but bumped that 7, covered up the 4. So yeah, now I'm going to bank it and then try to break it up, but I scratch. If there's a little bit of room below enough to go above, I would probably do that just so I can stay above the 5 the whole time. It's hard to see from the monitor if you could have put the cue ball like below the 7 and then use low and right to come above the balls. I think that if that was possible, that might have been a little bit higher percentage long run. Here I like to just plan to shoot the 8 into the corner and then play 1 rail into the end rail and come straight back down, or leave an angle so you can go play 2 rails. So I'm not sure what inadvertent English there was, but this is fine. Just make the ball, play your cue ball speed to where you're either going to leave it short so it doesn't go all the way to the end rail and your cue ball doesn't stay there, or you just play back up. Either way is fine. just control it. Good shot. All right, James on the break. Pretty good. Keep sending the one ball just to the end rail. So the two things that you can do to adjust from that is you can either cut it more or cut it less, or English. If you play a little bit of right spin on that break from the left side, that normally makes the one ball not go as far, and then if you play right spin, then it goes further because it kind of throws the ball slightly. There's no early nines in this tournament, so we were playing no early nines. Which is why I went for that bank shot instead of not trying to play a two-way and carom the 9 in. Came up a little bit short here. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into those balls. So I'm trying to play off the high side of them. Just to give myself a bank or a cut on the 4. I didn't really like where those balls ended up on that safety. Never really got comfortable. Knowing what to do. I think here you can just shoot hard and then go forward with the cue ball. As long as you don't hit the 8. Played it safe. That's fine too. 6 is tucked in there under the 9. Pretty good. James and I talked about this kick shot. I think if you can kick to the right, try to kick the 4 into the top corner pocket and hit it with enough speed to where the cue ball goes into the rail after making it and then floats down table for maybe a bank shot type situation on the 6. You'd be playing it probably with a ton of left English or maybe some left English. Kind of got away with my shape there. Could have got hooked pretty easily, so I was pretty fortunate. And just cut it to the right and high ball. I feel like that shot, the speed is very controllable. Five one. Pretty good break and run opportunity here. Just gotta find a way to get on the 3 going to the 4. Pretty good. I'm gonna have to bump the 4, I think, here. Bumped the 4 way more than I wanted to. I was thinking I was gonna be able to shoot it way differently than that. almost came up with the shot. Same kind of thing as the other one. Went through and bumped it right to the end rail. I ended up hitting this ball too thin. I was trying to play the cue ball behind the 9. So I left this bank into the 8 ball. Kind of a mental error. Not a mental error, physical error. But it was stretched out, so. Good shot. Nice. Now just forward. Similar shot to the 8 ball from the last rack that I shot. Five two. James is breaking. Pretty solid. Yeah, it looks like this 2-7 combination can play. Just gonna roll forward and bump the 6 with the cue ball. Almost good safe. Just a little bit. think I was trying to bump the 8 there. Either way, I knew that I was going to hit it soft enough to where nothing was going to get to the end rail. Good shot there, so I just got to draw back a little bit. Oh, am I going to go forward here? Yeah. I should have just like stopped ball on the 6 and then played the 8 and then went up table and back down, so I never was below the 9. Because here, if you look at this, twice I went kind of into a weird spot. That was kind of unnecessary. Alright, so I've noticed that must have incorrectly moved the coin earlier in the match. I rewound it and see that I did indeed mark myself twice. So James, I apologize, and if you noticed, you should have said something. But it's fine, I guess. Yeah, because I definitely only have 6 right now. So I don't know, maybe I guess it ends when I have 8. Things are strange now, but we'll see how it goes. Still getting used to doing the scoring on the phone and all the stuff with the video recording too, so pardon me for making these little mistakes, newbie mistakes. So I got a good chance to break and run here, so do my best. I do like to walk around a lot and check my angles and stuff. It tells me that I'm doing my research properly. And I found that it's helpful to walk around the table to help you like visualize the balls going in and all that in your mind. I was playing that for the corner or for the side. Dang. That was pretty close. I don't know if I expected it to turn a hair more to the left, or if I just missed it. It was also the moment of the infamous Vic saving the drink. That was a good stroke right there. Oh, that would have been really nice had that not gotten kicked. I think from here, it appears to me as though if you use extreme right and low English, that you can cut it to the left and play the cue ball. 3 rails under the 5, potentially the 4th rail. Still might be the best shot here. Play rail first. Right spin. Move 3 rails. Get the side rail about just below the side pocket to go through that gap. So I decided to get the jump cue out here. So I'm trying to jump it, make it, and then pop out for the 3. So I'm pretty sure I can just make this jump shot. Maybe it's a little bit too aggressive to play shape, but I think if you're going to shoot it, you should play shape too, right? Reasonable safe. The low left kicking the stick. Yeah, I can't see much of this ball, so I'm just going to cut it in that top corner. Meanwhile, I am going to play speed to come back around for the 3. Well, now that I made it, I'm really trying to work this one out. Dang. I'm a little short here. I think I'm going to shoot this left-handed. This is about to be a good out if I get out here. I think James talked, we were talking about this out after that. Oh, yeah. I didn't knock it out, but that would have been cool. I guess I could have tried to bank that ball. A good shot. Probably really the best soft shot here would be to just thin the 7 and go behind the 9. Instead of like trying to make it, you just hit it soft, basically. I'm being pretty aggressive, like I said. On these bar tables, I'm trying to really learn how to run out better. So even though I can play safe there, I want to shoot that shot and try to learn how to make it in a competitive match. Good shot. Check your tip on that one. 6-4. Haven't had too much luck on the break. Been having to do extraordinary measures. It just goes to show that not every break every table will be your break. You need to learn how to maybe break on a couple different ways. I have a break that I use that works pretty good on these diamond tables and not working very well on that table, this table. It's all good though. Played it safe. James is going to jump this ball. Checking your jump form right here. Body English. Okay. Some work to do here, but I'm trying for it. I think what I'm going to do here is just bump into the 5. Bump into the 2 also. And try to like move them around a little bit. I missed. See, I got the angle I wanted to go short side for the 4. That's so disappointing. Just a little more juice. A little safe here, I think. Trying to take away the kick below. Force the kick to the top rail. Nice hit. A little too far there. Might try to draw and bump into it. A little risky. Yeah, it was almost a great shot, really. Just a little bit less draw, I guess. It would have hit the 5 instead of the 8. And he would have came out with something way better than this. I think. I mean, you never know. Another safety, probably, but easier. Playing for the bank here. Yeah, I definitely added a game. So that should be 7-4 right now. Another break where the cue ball didn't really come off the rack. I feel like you kind of want to bounce it off the rack, so maybe there's a little bit too much follow. It's hard to know. I think lagging, rolling out over there is good. You're kind of like testing me. See what I do here. I think this one I am playing for the bank shot to get shape again. If I would have made that, that would have been sweet. Pretty good result. Maybe you can kick it into that little gap. Yep, okay. Just playing the reaction then. Oh dang, just hung. Staples, kind of hanging some balls. A lot of these diamonds in this area need a little bit new cloth. They don't have them, so kind of like tend to drop balls quite a bit. Lefty stroke. This one I cut it. I should have looked. I like playing Let's see. Maybe you could go behind the 5 with the cue ball. Like bank the 4 towards the 7. Yeah. If you can bank it right at the 7, then you can trap it there. Yeah, I just hit it too full. I think that was a good shot. If you had thinned it a little bit more, 4 ball would be like under the 9, closer to the 7, and then the cue ball would be like closer to the side rail. So that was just kind of more of a miss hit than a bad shot. The only other shot I thought maybe is you try to like cut the 4 and then bank it 2 rails like behind the 5 towards the 6, and then go to the end rail where the 7's at and try to use the 9 as a blocker. Slopped one in there. I'm going to cross the line on that 7 to the 9. That's risky. So I guess that's it. Apologies, James, once again. And anybody else that happened to make it this far, thanks for watching. Have a great one.